everyone, and welcome back to the Losers Lounge podcast, wherever you're listening, whatever you're listening. Oh man, this is my favorite time of year as a wrestling fan. And folks, it's everybody's favorite time of year as a wrestling fan, as it's finally the road to Wrestlemania with the Royal Rumble. This year, going a bit international this time, as they are live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Say what you will about the country and all that, but I mean, it's safe to say, whenever it's a Rumble, everybody tunes in. And hey, at least this year, it'll be at a nice stop time for everybody. Well, except for the Australians who have to get up at 6 a.m., but I mean, that's the cost of it. But you know, it is what it is, and I'm especially looking forward to it more so than normal, because this year's show's looking quite interesting, I would say. Heck, I mean, like, in terms of the timing sort of thing, like, it'll be like a day after my birthday in Australia, in terms of timing sort of thing, so you know what? That makes it very cool for me, I suppose, but I mean, it's gotta be cool for everybody, because the show is looking fantastic, but of course, we can't do it alone here on this podcast, so of course, we gotta get to the introduction. So first things first, I gotta start things off with one of the longest tenured members of this crew, that being the heelest of Balors, HeelBalor!
Royal Rumble season, ladies and gentlemen. The heelest of Balors is back on the UBS of the tube, the Losers Lunch podcast. It's great to be back. Awesome time of year. It's cold, still cold, but that's not going to stop us from talking about the Royal Rumble. Like I said, I love this time of year. Very excited to talk about it. Great to be on the show. Let's get into it.
Oh yeah, I am very excited as well for it. Of course, how can we not forget about the ultimate Godzilla fan in our group, that of course being Leo the Phenom!
Oh, it is Christmas time as a wrestling fan to be right around the corner of the Rumble, which is leading us into WrestleMania. And a better way to celebrate than being in with the losers.
Oh, absolutely. It makes it so damn good. And especially when we have the man who brought us here, the sinner of wrestling sinners. He is Christian freaking Maracle.
I just had to decline a call from my brother. I'm just kidding. It's all good. Poor timing. But regardless, I'm glad to be here on the podcast because Royal Rumble season is, as Leo said, it is, well, Christmas time for wrestling fans. It's the most wonderful time of the year, depending on your viewpoint of things. And yeah, I am excited for the fact that the Royal Rumble is a lot more unpredictable than we've ever seen it. I mean, we have a couple of favorites, which we will discuss when we get to the Rumble matches, but this might be one of the first times where I look at the field and I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I mean, last year was wild when they had all those big-time stars like John Cena and CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, McIntyre, you name it. And well, Jey Uso is the one who took the win, and that was on nobody's predictions, obviously. But I'm hyped for what we got going on for the show. It's in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is maybe the first time that the traditional Rumble is in Saudi Arabia, but Tyler, it's not the first time the Royal Rumble itself has ever been in Saudi.
Oh, no. That, of course, being 2018's greatest Royal Rumble, which actually a bit of a fun fact when it comes to that match there. Braun Strowman, who won that match years ago, technically has officially the longest title reign in WWE history. Technically, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about. But, I mean, it's crazy to think how they're coming back to Saudi Arabia to do a proper Royal Rumble, a traditional 30-man Royal Rumble event, and 30-woman Rumble, of course. And what's interesting this year as well, when it comes to the show being in Saudi, is that, well, when they first announced the show, obviously, there was the whole thing about, ooh, where's it taking place in Riyadh? Because they've got a few different arenas there. But I think the crazy part is that they decided, you know what? For a show as big as the Royal Rumble, let's create an arena from scratch. That's right. They spent about a month or so building a custom arena from scratch. What I believe they've called Riyadh Season Stadium, I think. So, honestly, it is very impressive. And look, I mean, people, they have their theories about how the arena was built, sort of thing. But I mean, when you're a country like Saudi Arabia, with like all the riches possible, like, you can have the money to like be able to pay for like overnight construction sort of thing. So it's like, I say what you will when it comes to like a lot of things, but you at least gotta give them credit for like being able to build a stadium in like a month. Like, that's something you never really see in like a lot of places. So, you know, kudos to them for being able to get it done that quickly. But
And kudos to the fact that it looks absolutely magnificent. Did you guys see the photos? Because it looks amazing.
oh yeah, like the photos look insane. Like, seriously, like I'm putting it on screen here for you guys to see, but seriously, the arena looks really good. Like, I'm very intrigued to see how the whole presentation and packaging works out. I mean, they even got Linkin Park to do the pay-per-view theme, so based as fuck. So, oh man, it is gonna be exciting. But we've got 4 matches to talk about when it comes to this show, and I know 2 of them we're gonna be spending a fair bit of time on, but I think we'll start things off with our only sort of non-title, non-Rumble match to discuss here. And with this one, oh boy, this one's gonna be interesting. It is AJ Styles versus the career killer, Gunther. And fittingly for the career killer himself, if AJ Styles loses, he must retire. Oh boy, we're like, this is like the 4th show we've talked about this year, and it's the 3rd that involves someone retiring. What's with the punch bowl this year? Like, oh my god.
Probably people are probably just getting old these days.
Yeah, like that is definitely for sure. I mean, considering like AJ Styles has been like in the wrestling business since like, what is it, 1998, 1999 sort of thing? It like,
Something around that part, yeah.
yeah, like it's kind of insane to think about how long AJ has been in the business for, just been doing it as such. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's just,
Showed up at the Royal Rumble 10 years ago.
yeah, 10 years ago, he made his debut in WWE at the Royal Rumble, which is a fitting event for him to potentially be hanging up the boots in a way, and it's kind of interesting to see for sure when it comes to AJ. Now, Gunther, of course, his story has been very much the career killer. He's looking at all these old timers and he's just like, nope, you ain't taking my spot. I'm gonna take you down. And honestly, not gonna lie, now that the story has been kicking up into full gear, I'm actually kind of invested in this, and I'll get to more in that a bit
Did
later.
you just say kicking up into full gear?
Wrong
Wrong pay-per-view,
promotion.
buddy.
Wrong,
Oh,
wrong
promotion.
show, wrong company.
Wrong show. Wrong
Yeah.
company.
I think I should have said that they are taking it over the limit, if that's the best way to go.
That
Oh,
was
they
actually a
should-
fun pay-per-view.
It kind of was, yeah. Over the limit, over
Yeah.
the edge. I mean, what?
Yeah.
No over the edge. That it brings back bad memories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad idea. But still, this is
It's all
definitely,
good. It's all good. We're all in, right?
yeah, fair enough. So, actually, Christian, I'm actually going to start with you here when it comes to this match and story here. What do you think of AJ Styles versus Gunther?
Well, to be honest, I did not expect the career-threatening match stipulation to be put in, but we did know that this is the last year of AJ Styles' wrestling career, and it got to the point where I honestly think he really is gonna lose to Gunther. My prediction honestly is Gunther's gonna win because I really think this is the end for AJ Styles' WWE run. I think 2026 is gonna be his last year, but he's either gonna end it in TNA, New Japan, or even AEW. I don't see him retiring right on the spot from the Royal Rumble at the start of the year. And this just like I don't see him doing an entire retirement tour like John Cena did. But at the same time, that's the thing about AJ Styles is he's a very complicated individual when it comes to this whole thing because we're like, so is he going to leave? Is he not going to leave? We don't know. We've heard rumors about his contract situation. We've heard stories, but we don't exactly know what's real. And the only way to find out is to just watch the show. That's why I am very intrigued to see whether or not this is going to turn out in the favor of AJ Styles, or if he actually is going to be done from his wrestling career entirely, or if he's just done from the WWE. Because that's why this whole thing has you questioning what is going to be the case. Is it this way? Is it that way? Is it that way? Is it that way? There's many paths that this could take. And that's why I think this is going to be one of the most intriguing matches of the whole show. And there are only 4 matches, obviously, but it's gotten to the point where this may be one you don't want to lose sight on because this could very well be the last match of AJ Styles in the WWE. I was at Monday Night Raw this past Monday in Toronto, my kingdom, and I was there to watch AJ Styles face CM Punk for the world title, and I thought that was amazing. The crowd was energetic, but that had me thinking. He's in these big time matches. He had the Shinsuke Nakamura match at the Saturday night's main event. Now this world title match with CM Punk. What is going on here? Is it truly the end? And it very well could be. That's why we don't know what is the case. We don't know whether AJ's done or whether he's not. But even then, I still think they're gonna give this to Gunther, who's gonna compete in the Royal Rumble later on this night. So remember, Gunther's pulling double duty at the Royal Rumble, and I think for the sake of things, just keep a close eye on this match and hope for the best. I would like to see AJ stay for the rest of his run in the WWE, but if he's done like now, or if he's just simply done with WWE for now and he wants to finish his career elsewhere, then that's on him. That's up to him. And whatever happens, I'll always support him because I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, pretty much all of us, I think, here on this podcast are. And I think that whatever happens, AJ Styles, you the man. But for now, I believe Gunther is winning this match.
Oh, yeah. It is a very sort of complicated situation to follow sort of thing, but it's definitely quite interesting. Also, shout out to that Nakamura match they had on Saturday night's main event. That match was incredible. One of the best matches I've seen in a while. So, I mean, AJ's just giving it his all here for what could be his last WWE run. So, definitely going to be quite interesting there. HeelBalor, I'll go with you next. What do you make of AJ Styles versus Gunther?
The first match was very fun. Of course, Gunther tapped out, but we didn't see it, obviously. So technically, you still lost that match, but you won. There you go. AJ Styles gets some revenge. But will he get revenge here? The stipulation of, career threatening and stuff like that, I've already seen multiple retirements and what, like you said, weeks. Everyone's hanging out the boots. Will this be the end of AJ Styles? Very torn, honestly. I'm very torn to see where they head with this. On one hand, I don't want to see AJ Styles hanging up just yet. But on the other hand, Gunther is the, quote, career killer and all that kind of stuff. I could see it really going either way. I could see a scenario where, Gunther goes too far and gets DQ and that saves AJ's career and something like that. Or on the other hand, I could see him, tapping out AJ Styles, which would be, oh boy, his fans would not enjoy that at all. Well, Gunther's going to be on the Rumble like a little bit later. I'm going to go with something is telling me I don't know. I think Gunther might win this match. I don't want it to happen. To be honest with you, I don't want AJ to hang it up just yet. But this is his choice. This one he has to. This is how he wants to go out. It's all good. Respect that. You're still a legend at the end of the day. Love you, AJ Styles. And I'm hoping you do win. But I'm going to go with Gunther to pick up the win and beat AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, AJ will absolutely always be a legend, like, for sure. Like, considering his career, like, everything he's done, he is absolutely would be a lock in any Wrestling Hall of Fame for sure. And, Leo, what do you make of AJ Styles versus Gunther?
I might be alone on this, but something's telling me AJ ain't retiring yet. The way things have been going is like this seems like too much going on in such a short amount of time just for a retirement of someone of AJ's caliber, considering he's basically been holding it down for WWE for the last 10 years. So I don't know. If anything, I predict AJ Styles is going to defeat Gunther by a disqualification or a countout. Because that way the story keeps going, or we can have AJ for a little longer, probably till like Mania or a little bit past that. Because I don't see AJ retiring at like with WWE like in Saudi Arabia. It like with such a short build of time for a story of his own retirement. Yes, I know the reports are saying like his contract ends at like sometime in this coming month, but there's always time for extensions. So that's what I see.
Well, and another thing to add to that is, like, we've read reports about contracts, and I believe last time I saw it, it said February 1st, which is like the day after the Rumble. But still, I'm like, we don't know if any of that is actually accurate. No matter what the source is, Fightful, WrestleVotes, Meltzer. I'm just kidding, Meltzer, fuck Meltzer. But you know what I mean. What I mean, of course, is like, you never know, because they could have definitely kept some things hidden. Just because certain guys may have a news source, doesn't mean they're always accurate. So the one thing the one thing we can always agree on is no matter what we read, there's always a possibility that it's wrong. So we don't know for sure. However, Leo, you do have a good point that a lot of things are pointing toward that possibility regarding the latest amount of matches that AJ's had. So I'll give you points on that.
Yeah, it felt like just too much in such a short amount of time. Like why would you cram like months worth of story into just what 2 weeks?
Like,
Because it was just 2 weeks ago that Gunther said like, okay, I'll agree to a match with you at the Rumble only if you put your career on the line. When you compare it to like say Shawn Michaels, for example, when his retirement
Say
came, like
the Undertaker.
it was like a month.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, regarding the whole Shawn Michaels Undertaker thing, like, that's a different situation.
This
Because,
is just like
that was built up for almost a year at that point.
a year that kind of settled in the background, then just didn't really come into the foreground until like the last like month or 2 months ahead of WrestleMania. This feels like like it was a last minute decision just a few weeks in advance. I'm like, that doesn't feel like this is the right way for AJ to go. I mean, I could be wrong. Any of us could be wrong, but that's just how I see it.
yeah, like, it really is like a complicated situation with like a lot of the factors going into it, but it definitely makes for interesting television. That is for sure. Me personally with it, I've been enjoying the story overall with AJ and Gunther. Like, I have been liking the whole attitude of like AJ being like, "Hey, you retired Cena in an unfavorable way. I want to kick your ass." And then Gunther's just like, "Nope." And then Gunther had to give in, gave him a match. Gunther cheated, and well, here we are. Like, it's been quite an interesting story as such, but honestly, like, I am enjoying the career killer stuff now, sort of thing. Like, months ago, when you told me, like, oh, Gunther's gonna be this career killer sort of thing, I thought, why? Why would you do that sort of thing? Gunther had been washed after the whole Jey Uso story and that kind of thing. But now that the story has actually gone further enough, I actually see their vision with this, and I'm intrigued. I'm at least intrigued to see how it goes from here, sort of thing, and I'll get to more of that later on, sort of thing. But, like, yeah, it's definitely intriguing here. AJ, obviously, one of the greatest of all time. Like, he's a legend. He absolutely is a legend, and if there was a point where he could be like, okay, I'm done with wrestling, sort of thing, it would be fitting enough where, like, the first WWE event that he ever did, being the Rumble, would be his last, like a full circle type moment. I can understand that for sure. Now, in terms of who I got winning, honestly, I don't know exactly what the rumors are saying, what the details are, and that kind of thing, but I think I'm probably gonna be on the safe side to assume that AJ is thinking about his retirement and being like, okay, Rumble feels like a nice spot to go for. So I've got Gunther winning. I think Gunther winning, it does make a lot of sense. And honestly, I don't think Gunther winning here would impact the Rumble at all. I don't think it would. That's just me on that, and I'll get to that later, sort of thing. But, like, I don't think it would. So it should be interesting. But I mean, if this is AJ's last match, and you gotta give him props for the career he's had, the legacy he's had, and just everything. And as we mentioned, like, just the overall legacy of AJ Styles, it will be immortalized. It will absolutely will be. He is one of the greatest to ever do it, and God damn it, this is the last match of AJ Styles, then let's hope they go out with a bang. That's all we can hope for. Let's hope they go out with a bang. Oh man, but when it comes to this next match, I don't know if it would be considered a bang or a whimper. All I know is that it's gonna be quite an interesting one to see how we predict this, cause oh boy, this is gonna be a complicated one. It is for the undisputed WWE Championship, and it is the champion, Drew McIntyre, taking on Sami Zayn. Now, the story going into this match is pretty simple. Sami wants to finally become a world champion, so he's on this quest to finally do it. Whereas Drew McIntyre, he won the championship from Cody Rhodes after, well, a whole situation with Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes and everything coming into play, and now Drew is the champion, gloating as can be, which ain't a good sign if you want to be holding that title long. And very much Drew, he's just been overall a dick. Like, he's been taking out everybody. Even on Saturday night's main event, when Cody and Jacob were having their brawl, Drew got involved and was, like, kicking the both of their asses. So, yeah, definitely quite interesting there for that. And I mean, Sami, of course, won his opportunity at Saturday night's main event in a Fatal 4-Way. So, very much, both of these men, they were destined for this, and now we are here. So, Leo, I'm gonna start with you. What do you make of the undisputed WWE title match?
Honestly, I mean, we've seen these two wrestle plenty of times. It's mostly been one-sided. I expect a good match. Sammy is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Drew's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Let's be honest, we know why Sammy's in this match. Saudi and everything. What's gonna happen? I mean, it's not the right time. Like, Drew will defeat Sammy as he's always done. Sammy's gonna have to go back home, and his little boy's gonna be like, "Papa, why are you such a loser?" Okay, that sounds mean, but
Damn.
you get what I mean.
I was about to say, where the hell did that come from? Holy shit!
That got me.
We went for the
Gosh.
fucking head.
Damn, you really are a Drew
Jeez.
McIntyre fan.
I know that sounds mean, but the story just isn't right yet for Sammy to win the title, and if he does, like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna turn a lot more people off of Sammy, because I've seen, for whatever reason, 2025, the two wrestlers I've seen the most dislike for, like, grow for whatever reason, has been Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So the two guys who, like, 3 years ago were the two most beloved like superstars.
Hold on a
like,
second. Wait, hold on a second. Where was the hate for Sami Zayn? I know the hate for Jey Uso always existed, but what Sami hate? Where did that come from?
I don't know. It just showed up, and people, like, because Sammy kept winning so often, and like, people giving him the name Sammy Hogan.
Yeah,
and
I've
whatnot.
seen it myself. Like, I've seen people say that.
Seriously?
But yeah.
What are the idiots on Twitter? These guys on Twitter still doing crazy shit?
Not just Twitter. I've seen it on Instagram, on TikTok. I've seen some Reddit posts.
I've seen it in some Discord servers.
I've seen a little bit.
Funny enough, considering the Sammy Hogan, considering Drew McIntyre posted a response to Sammy say like see you next week, brother, like, to a post of Sami Zayn saying like he's going to the Rumble to win, and Drew legitimately put a post of Hulk Hogan's TNA Titantron video, because that doesn't work for me, brother. Say what you will, but I love Drew McIntyre as a troll online.
Oh yeah, McIntyre being a troll is all fun, but I'm just more shocked that there's. I'm just shocked that there's Sammy hate. I'm like, I looked at like his 2025. He didn't always win matches.
It kind of, I think where it really started was maybe 2024, like when he beat Gunther for the IC title. It kind of came from a side of people thinking like that should have gone to Chad Gable, but then it kind of grew and grew, escalated, and then it just kind of lingered on through last year, and then it kind of got subsided with the hate for Jey Uso, which I still like. Why? Like, I understand if you don't care for him as a wrestler, but like let's be honest. We'll talk about him later, but yeah, for this match, I see Drew retaining, but in a way that's probably gonna leave Sammy completely like broken, and probably needing like help out of the ring, or he's gonna be so distraught that it's either gonna give sympathy for him from the audience there in Saudi Arabia, or it's gonna leave to people being like, oh, doing I lost, so I need all the sympathy cries from you people. That's gonna turn them off.
In the words of Kevin Owens, when it comes to the Sami Zayn hate, people, just get over it! Oh my god, I have not seen such hate like that, but you know what? Interesting thinking there when it comes to the match there, Leo. Interesting thinking there. Christian, I'll go with you next. What do you make of the undisputed WWE title match?
Well, first of all, we're still calling it that.
I mean, in my notes, which I got from like Bloody Cage Match or whatever, they're still calling it that. And in fact, on the graphics and such,
The
they still call it
undisputed
that.
WWE Championship. I'm
What
sorry,
is it undisputed of anyway anymore?
Thank you.
Yeah. I never
Universal
understood that.
Universal title's been gone for 2 years now. It's just the WWE title lineage, and there's the other World Heavyweight title. So what is so undisputed anymore?
I think for what it's called, it's because it's still holding the lineage of the Universal title, so they're just keeping
Actually,
that
no,
undisputed name.
it's not. Actually, no, it's not anymore.
Oh,
No, that
oh,
ended when Roman dropped it.
I mean, say what you will, I think they just like the name. I mean, remember when they brought in the Universal title, they was still called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then they changed it to like the WWE World Championship, and then they like, screw it, just keep it as the WWE Championship.
Oddly enough, we do have a WWE World Heavyweight Championship held currently right now, as you know, by CM Punk.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, though, regardless, back to the actual subject of the match. Like I said, still trying to recover from the fact that I just found out there's Sami Zayn hate. I won't lie, I guess that's a perk of being off of Twitter since May, because I've been purified ever since then, and I've been out of the loop when it comes to hate, and it's been wonderful. So when I hear that, I was like, what? I mean, I know there's Jey Uso hate because I see it everywhere I go, no matter what. But the Sami Zayn hate, that took me by surprise. But I would probably say when it comes to this matchup, McIntyre is I like the story. I like the story because Drew McIntyre's brought up how he's beaten Sammy 11 times in a row, while Sammy has never beaten him. So that actually does put a stinger on him, and I think that this could play into a factor of a much larger story, which which I definitely might be talking about later. But assuming this might go the way I think it will, I think that on the subject of McIntyre becoming WWE champion in the first place from Cody Rhodes on the Three Stages of Hell match in Germany, that surprised me because I figured, this is Drew's like eighth or ninth title match against Cody. He's gonna lose it again. But he didn't. And when I saw him win, it was it was a big surprise. Even though Jacob Fatu was heavily involved with it, still, it was amazing. And I think that this could truly show into the fact that Sami Zayn is gonna start thinking to himself, maybe he's not world championship material, because he's been in WWE for a long time, and so it's that cliche thing. I scratched and clawed for 20 plus years. I have always wanted to be champion, but now I feel like I'm letting my family down when I'm not champion. If I'm being perfectly honest here, and that type of story bores me to death because I'm like, you're not Daniel Bryan, and even Daniel Bryan wouldn't be that stupid. So I really think that Drew McIntyre is definitely going to win this match. However, this is going to definitely play a huge part into what Drew's role could be at WrestleMania, because I don't think it's going to be a clean victory whatsoever. With McIntyre lately, crazy shenanigans will happen. Jacob Fatu could be getting involved again. I could actually see that happening. Like Cody Rhodes gets involved, and this causes Sami Zayn to lose. And when that happens, Sami Zayn's now pissed off at Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. Now these guys are getting involved. And this could really have me thinking that regardless of which way this goes, we could potentially be looking at a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu. I think that could very well happen depending on how this one match goes at the Royal Rumble. If Jacob Fatu and or Cody Rhodes get involved with this, that could very well set the stage. So one of those guys might win the Rumble. One of those guys might win the Chamber. You never know. But this could very well be the part where a big storyline kicks in for WrestleMania at the High Gear. And for this case, they really need that. Because when you get started on the road to WrestleMania, you should start having an idea of what we're going to see at WrestleMania. And if this match goes the way I think it does, we could be looking at a multi-man WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. And I'll ask you guys this. Do you guys think that this could very well lead to a potential triple threat or four-way at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Probably.
Like, I do see it, like, happening sort of thing, but I don't know if it'll be for the title, as I'll discuss in a bit, but I think there's a good chance.
Yeah. Regardless, my final prediction is Drew McIntyre is going to retain the title because I don't see him losing it. He just won it like 3 weeks ago. And the Sami Zayn, right now, no, I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. But McIntyre's definitely winning. And I think McIntyre's going into WrestleMania as champion. So regardless of what happens on Saturday, McIntyre is definitely walking into WrestleMania as champ. How he does prior though, I really hope he does be a fighting champion and does defend even after the Royal Rumble and before WrestleMania. Because if you guys recall, last year's Road to WrestleMania, neither world title for the men's division was ever defended between the Rumble and WrestleMania.
Damn.
A full 7 to 8 weeks, I think maybe 9 weeks of no title defenses.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Chambers at the end of February, and if I hear correctly, there's probably gonna be a Saturday night's main event sometime in like mid to late March.
Really? I mean, that's the first I'm hearing it. If
To-
that is true, that would actually be
to bridge it, because remember last year we had like what, 8 weeks between Chamber and WrestleMania.
something like that. But also remember this: last year's Chamber, there was not a single title match the whole night.
To determine number one contenders, and then a tag match with a champion, and then an unsanctioned match.
The only time that a champion was actually competing, I think, in another match, a top champion anyway, was Tiffany Stratton as the WWE champion, you know?
Yeah.
But she was in a tag match.
It was only just so she could tag with Trish, the hometown girl.
We can also agree Jade Cargill is a terrible WWE champion.
Thank
She
you.
was meant to defend. She was meant to defend it until Meechin got a concussion and B-Fab got hurt.
Yeah.
I thought those are your options. No offense to them, but those are the options.
Yeah, they're waiting for Miss Bianca to come back. Because Jade she's that's the problem with her being a heel right now. She has no credible threats. If she was a face, she would have been facing like Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Zelina maybe. Like all she's been doing is really messing around with mid-carders and like bullying Chelsea Green.
Yeah. At least Jordan Grace coming in does help with that, but still, SmackDown.
I will not crown Jordan Grace as WWE champion right now because she just got here.
Yeah.
So that's why the WWE title scene on the women's side is just so confusing and convoluted.
Yeah. I mean, even with the men's side, like for a while, it just felt like same old.
Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre and nothing more. Maybe Cody with the occasional random defense here, but that does nothing because you're supposed to do more than just randomly defend your title.
Yeah, I guess it was just an example of SmackDown's just madness in like late 2025. But at least now they're starting to fix that up a bit, which
keep that optimism. Let's keep that optimism alive. But for now, back to what I was really quickly saying, yes, Drew McIntyre will beat Sami Zayn. That's my prediction.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's some good thinking there with that. HeelBalor, I'll go with you now. Who have you got with the WWE title match?
Drew McIntyre is going to beat Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn potentially could be a future world champion, WWE champ, maybe the World Heavyweight Championship. Sami Zayn's incredible what he does. Fantastic storyteller, good character. But it's not going to happen here. Probably next year, WrestleMania, for all we know. But Drew McIntyre just got the title. It's his time. He's walking to me as champ. We'll see if he walks to me as champ. He probably could take it off from here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Drew McIntyre's going to walk in there, Claymore the crap out of Sami Zayn. There'll be a few near falls. There'll be a Haluva kick, Blue Thunder Bomb, Claymore, future shot, whatever you may call it. It's going to be out there in the ring. Drew McIntyre is going to waltz in there and walk out WWE champion. Sorry, Sammy, it's not going to happen.
Very interesting there for sure. My goodness, I'll tell you, when it comes to this match, like, I don't know, I'm excited for this match, but like, I also know that like, I don't know, there'll be a good match. Like, I know for sure, like, Drew and Sammy are both really good competitors. They absolutely are, but I feel like I'm about to be the odd one out here, as, I've got Sammy winning. Yeah, I've got Sammy winning with this one, and like, I have my
I literally
theories.
saw. I can't see you guys, but I literally saw Willie and Leo turn their heads toward Tylor, in sync.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I understand, like, people might be surprised about me saying it, but, like, I've got my few reasons, sort of thing. Like, for starters, like, Drew is great. Drew absolutely is great, sort of thing. But, like, with the way he's been presented as champion, the way he's being presented with his character, sort of thing, I feel like it would kind of make sense for, like, the story for, like, Drew, his pettiness and that kind of thing, and, like, his ego sort of thing to, like, cost him, and for him to be a transitional champion. I know, in terms of, like, the main event scene, you don't want to do transitional champions that often, sort of thing, but I feel like this is the time when you could realistically be like, okay, we can do a transitional champion sort of thing, because, like, Cody was an alright champion. It was fine, but they needed the transition to Drew just because, like, the reign was just getting a bit too stale. It was like, okay, transition it to Drew. But I don't think Drew's gonna be walking into Mania as champion. Plus, I mean, the story with Cody, Drew, and Jacob, that doesn't need to be for the world title. I'm sorry, that doesn't need to be for the world title. Like, don't get me wrong, the story's awesome. I'm loving the direction they're going in with that story, but that's the kind of story where, like, title or not, it'll be great. So I think they don't really need the title for that story, and well, very much. Like, I'd be down to see it no matter what sort of thing. Like, I think with the way and certain directions I think they might be going in, I could see them wanting to put the belt on Sammy, and I mean, yes, home field advantage probably doesn't mean much, sort of thing. Well, technically, a home field advantage, but still, like, I don't know, I've just got this feeling when it comes to this that, like, Sami Zayn is probably going to be walking out champion. Plus, I know this excuse has probably never worked out, especially after Mr. Cody Rhodes did this himself, but, Drew's filming a movie soon. He is. I believe it's like the next Highlander film, I believe he's filming, sort of thing. So, I mean, yeah, when Cody was champion, he filmed Street Fighter. So that obviously is like something where it's like, oh, they'll probably just write him off TV, sort of thing. But I don't know. All these different factors going into my head are just making me think that, like, Sammy is probably going to be winning. That's just me on that. And I would love
But
to
also, here's the thing. This also depends on what type of role that he would have in this movie. Like, I don't think he's in a starring role whatsoever.
No, he's actually a kind of a minor role. He's playing I believe, like a big like, henchman type like character.
All that type of thing.
Like yeah, like what like those big bosses you have to fight like with a like, sword and whatnot, and these
Oh, when you
kind
hear
of
that,
medieval movies. So
when you
like
hear that, that could be done in like a week or two.
Yeah.
like 2 weeks at most for possible reshoots. That's about it. I don't think he's gonna take off much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I wouldn't.
It's
I
not
wouldn't
like
put.
it's not like Cody who needed the month off because he actually has a major role because he's one of the lead characters.
Yeah. So obviously, like, that's the kind of thing where it's like, there's a maybe with that, but it's not really something you'd think about as much, but just it is a thing to think about at least, but not as big of a thing to think about, I guess. But still, I've just got this feeling when it comes to Sammy here, so I've got Sammy winning the title match here, and it does play into something later on, which I will get to when we get to that, but yeah, should be quite an interesting one. But oh man, those matches were pretty good, but I mean, considering the namesake of this event, I think it's time we talk some Rumbles, and I think we'll start things off with the Women's Royal Rumble match. My goodness, this year's field is pretty stacked, I'd say, with a lot of names. And I mean, because I enjoyed naming off all the names in the Battle Riot just a few episodes back, sort of thing, I might as well run down the names of the Rumbles here so that you all know who's in it. Of course, I won't be going for any names that might be leaks or rumors, that kind of thing. Just the official names, folks. Because
Gotta be careful, Ty Lord, that people are gonna start getting mad if you tell them who's in the Rumble.
Folks, if they're officially named in the match, then it's fine, people. It's fine. They officially announced on TV or internet, so.
But if you still don't want to know who's in it and you already figured it out, I'd highly recommend clicking off this podcast.
But then
it's the button in the top left corner of your device,
and then the views,
and then press the X button, and then, or if you want to just go to your recommended section, I highly recommend clicking yes, that trailer to the new Daredevil season.
Based. Well, anyway, in terms of who in it, we have Becky Lynch, Asuka, Bayley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Jordynne Grace, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Julia, Lyra Valkyria, Roxanne Perez, Lash Legend, Maxine Dupree, and that's about it for the confirmed names. So, very much, there's a pretty stacked field when it comes to the confirmed name sort of thing. And, like, there's a lot of potential with, like, who could show up, what NXT appearances might be made, because even on NXT, they did tease about potential appearances of NXT talent, so yeah, it could be quite interesting there. And I mean, everybody loves Rumble. I mean, this year, of course, with them being in Saudi, another thing that should be interesting is the attires, how everyone's attire is going to look, sort of thing. I think I've seen some people when it comes to this with the Women's Rumble, they're saying, oh, they're all going to look like Power Rangers or Kamen Riders or Super Sentai members. But come on, it looks cool. It'll look cool. Come on, people.
It's all good. I really think that when it comes to this situation, in terms of the Royal Rumble, I'm pretty sure they'll definitely get really creative.
Oh, yeah, that they will be very creative when it comes to their attires, so I don't think it's going to be anything to worry about. Such normally when they go to Saudi, they are very creative with the attires, considering all, like, the rules and regulations sort of thing. So, honestly,
for now, it's like just like full body suits. So it's not like how it was like at the start, like full body suit and wear a t-shirt on top.
Yeah.
Actually, when it started, they weren't allowed at all.
Oh, yeah. So, at least it's progress, people. It is indeed progress. But, HeelBalor, I'll start with you here, and with the Rumbles, of course, there are two questions I got to ask when it comes to this. What sort of surprise names do you think could be in this match? And who have you got winning this match?
God. Surprise entries. I'm gonna go with my NXT girls. Maybe we'll see a few legends, but I hope we see, at least for my sake, my girl Sol Ruka. Maybe we'll see JC Jane. Maybe we'll see like Blake Monroe in there. Even though she's doing a little bit of live events this weekend, which one is my hometown, so it's pretty cool. Legends wise, Nikki Bella, maybe Brie. Maybe we'll see like God, who else can they drag out? Maybe Michelle McCool makes another appearance for all we know. Be pretty cool. Those are my surprise entries. I could see a few others showing up, but at least I'll sprinkle in those surprise entries as well. Maybe Tatum Paxley. Just throw some names out there. As for who I have winning, So I did this on my channel. Can we get this route for the Rumble matches? We have a backup winner and we have the official winner. I did this on my channel. Go subscribe, by the way, HeelBalor.
I think
Sounds
I,
We
good.
have like 2 picks.
hey, I think
By
that
the
might
way,
actually be a smart idea. What do you guys
and
think?
by the way, if you think that if Michelle McCool actually does show up, that will literally be her 4th time in the Rumble match.
I know, right?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Never forgetting the first time. God, like, okay, I guess I'll go with my. I say we're good to go for the predictions. I guess for the 2 winners. Well, all right. My backup winner for the women's Royal Rumble is going to be Bianca Belair. I think we have not seen her since WrestleMania last year. Of course, she broke her finger. A very fucked up injury. And she can go in there and win the Rumble. I know she won the Chamber last year. She won the Rumble in 2021, right? So it was her and Edge, I believe. 2021, correct? Yes, it was 2021. Got it right. I got you. We have not seen her since WrestleMania last year when she broke her finger, that kind of stuff. And Jade needs somebody to go against in WrestleMania. Have her return, have her win the Rumble. Be pretty great. Awesome moment. Big pop, big reaction for her. Love to see Bianca win the Women's Royal Rumble. Be pretty cool. But my pick, and this is my official pick, to win the Women's Royal Rumble for 2026. I had her winning in 2022. She got eliminated, and boy, were we not happy with that one. I think it's her time. Watch her win the Rumble. Liv Morgan. I'm going with Liv Morgan to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. I think, you have the story there. Of course, of her going in there. You have all the Judgment Day girls, and they got Roxy, you got Raquel's gonna be in there. They can help her win the Rumble, which we'll talk about a little bit when we talk about the men's Rumble, because you have some help in that one as well. I think everyone wants it. Everyone's clamoring for it. If you're not clamoring for it, that's completely fine as well. I've been supporting Liv for a pretty long time, and there'll be a little bit of vengeance for the 2022 Rumble. You got the whole thing with the Judgment Day as well, that whole storyline, and basically, I guess her being the quote de facto leader of the faction, I guess, her going to win the Women's Rumble, going on to face Sam Bakura probably for the Women's title, or maybe going on to face Raquel, because they're going to be having the title match next week in a street fight between Stephanie and Raquel, because you have that there. Everyone to face Raquel, WrestleMania for all we know. Either way, it's Liv Morgan. That's who I got. I'm going to scream, cry probably, and I think it's warranted in my opinion. Liv Morgan winning the Women's Royal Rumble. That's my pick. Watch her do it. That's a bad pun. But Liv Morgan to win the Women's 2026 Royal Rumble.
Interesting thinking there. Leo, what sort of surprise names do you think will be in the Women's Rumble this year? And who might be your 2 picks to win the Rumble?
Well, for surprises, for NXT, I can see Tatum Paxley, I can see Sol Ruka, I can see,
Yes.
I can even see she's still the Evolve Women's Champion, Kendall Gray.
Yeah, Kendall is still Evolve Women's Champion.
Yes. I like her.
I wouldn't mind seeing her. As for like legends, I can definitely see like a Trish Stratus. I can see Lita. I don't know, even if I mean she's definitely gonna be in there. I don't know if this is even a surprise to say AJ Lee.
I mean, that's some good
Is that
thinking
even a
there.
surprise? Like, it's kind of a given considering the planned Mania match for her. You know what's one moment I know I would love to see, and considering with who they can definitely pull it off.
Who's that?
You remember the 2018 men's Rumble? I think Heath Slater got attacked like when he was supposed to come in, and then for the next like 7 or 8 entrants, they kept attacking him when they came down. Unless you're Biggie and you fed him pancakes from your singlet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know how I would love to see that very spot done with?
Who?
Chelsea Green.
Oh my God, yes.
I was about to say Chelsea. I was about to say Chelsea Green.
It would fit her. It would fit her.
I would love to see her like coming down like she's like number 8 or number 9, and whoever got eliminated like early on, like just out of frustration attacks her, and then like for the next like 10 or so entrants, they go by her and they just knock her down, and then later on, once like say Alba Fire gets her shot in the Rumble, she goes to help her, gets Chelsea into the ring, and then Chelsea gets eliminated right after.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my
That would be
god.
funny.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I would love to see that. If I don't know if there's a good thing like if whoever's starting the Rumble, if it's a major name, I could see them being like the Iron Woman.
Well, that's the
For
thing,
the
Leo.
winner,
That's the thing, Leo. It's the women's Royal Rumble. Everybody's an Iron Man these days. Heck, if you look at the history, last year's Royal Rumble, the longevity record got broken 3 times in one match.
Wow.
and it got broken the year before twice, and then the year before that it
Yeah.
was broken. Each year they're breaking it.
Remember how impressive it was when Rey Mysterio lasted 62 minutes? Oh my!
Yeah.
These days,
Yeah,
it's like, well, here's the thing. Bailey lasted 63 minutes in 2024. Then last year, Io Sky lasted 67 minutes. Then, of course,
yeah,
Liv Morgan also
60
lasted 6. It's like Liv Morgan also lasted 7 minutes. I mean 67, not 6-7, 6-7.
And he
What the
just
fuck?
did the thing.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh God, here we go. Oh God.
I meant to say 67 and a half minutes. Actually, that was Roxanne Perez, actually. It says, I was like, Io Sky was 66
Yep,
minutes.
Roxy.
Liv was 67, and then Roxy was 67 and a half. So it got broken 3 times in one match.
Which is kind of impressive, actually.
Not really, when you realize, I look back on that match recently, and I was like, they're hardly trying to eliminate anybody. This was the first, I mean, I think it sets the record for most competitors active in one Rumble at like 16 to 18.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, I can expect to see like a major name, whoever starts, like say Becky Lynch, a Charlotte Flair, an Alexa Bliss, whoever starts at like number 1 or 2, being the Iron Woman. As for my winners, my mind, either Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan. But in my heart, I know they're not gonna do it because they're cruel to her. She doesn't deserve it. She's the only one of the 3 kawaii girls to still not win a world championship. I want this Rumble to be the moment. One, can I say it like she does it? Breaks out of the abusive relationship. That is one. Kyrie Sane.
Yes, indeed.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, poor Kyrie. Like deep down, if it was up to me, I would have her finally break from that abusive relationship with Asuka. Throw her out, and hell, have her win the Rumble. Like, give her a chance. Give her a chance at WrestleMania.
I mean, Kairi Sane would be interesting. I liked when it came to Kairi Sane. I liked that, like last Monday on Raw. Becky had told Kairi to tell Asuka how she was gonna win the Rumble. So Kairi literally turned to Asuka. Becky said, "I heard her." It's so funny.
If it was up to me, in my deepest heart, I would give Kyrie the shock opportunity because everyone's expecting a Bianca and Liv to either win, and that's who I think is going to win. But deep down in my heart, if it was up to me, I would give it to Kyrie. I really wouldn't mind Kyrie Sane versus Stephanie Vaquera at WrestleMania for the world title, or Raquel, or maybe hell, if Stephanie loses it beforehand and like loses it to like I don't know, Liv Morgan on the road to WrestleMania. Hey, there's a built-in story.
Leo, you brought a really cool idea.
Remember, it was Liv who got hurt in the match with Kyrie.
It was.
Yep.
And you know, Leo, you brought up a really cool idea. Willie, I'd like to add in something that you said. A winner, a backup winner, and the best thing to happen to the brand split in 2019, a wild card.
Wild card, true.
I'm just kidding. That was a shit thing in 2019. But if that is the case, how's that, Leo? We'll put in your two winners, your winner, your backup winner, and your wild card winner.
That's my thing. That my wild card. My backup is Liv Morgan. My actual number one to actually win it is Bianca Belair.
I love your thinking there, especially with Kyrie. Like, that actually does make a lot of sense in terms of storyline, so I love your thinking there. And, Christian, what sort of surprise names would you like to see in the Rumble, and who are your picks to win the Rumble?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't look at NXT these days as surprises anymore because it happens every year. I mean, sure, they don't hang out with the main roster that often, but I don't look at them as surprises in Rumble matches anymore. Like, return from injury, an unexpected name, and a legend appearance. That's the type of thing that I would consider as a surprise. That's why I don't exactly have a lot of options when it comes to surprise entrants. I don't even count AJ Lee if she was going to be in the match because if she's set to be continuing her feud with Becky Lynch to WrestleMania, then obviously she'll be in the match. So, okay. I think on the subject of potential surprise appearances, Bianca Belair, even though she's like a pick for everybody to win the match, she's out with an injury, so I guess it would count because there's still a high chance that because of the severity of her injury, because as you're right, Willie, that is a fucked up injury. It's not just a freaking broken finger, because clearly it's more than that. I think that it could happen or it could not happen, but I think Bianca could show up, and I have another name that some people have thrown around about the possibility. I'm not exactly 100% sure about it, but I wouldn't be against it. Paige.
Oh!
Yeah, that's somebody else who could return.
I love your thinking with that.
Paige could potentially show up because something that's a fact about this is she's never been in the Women's Rumble, if you recall. She had to retire early, right as the first one just got announced, so that could be a possibility as well. But another thing that people have been saying and pointing out is, regardless even if you're going to be a surprise entrant, you're still traveling to Saudi Arabia, and there might be some people who are still not comfortable going to Saudi. At this rate, I really think that after all the years of what happened, I don't think there's really been any issue. I mean, I've seen the story about the whole being stranded at an airport thing, but I'll be honest, I really think that's a bunch of bullshit. Come at me if you want to, folks. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. But, because you guys can't provide any evidence that there was anything of that sort going on. And I think that we could very well get some legend appearances because of the fact that this is a very massive Royal Rumble event in Riyadh, and also to help promote WrestleMania 43, which is also going to be in Riyadh next year. And I think for that case, we could be looking at the biggest legends, including maybe a Trish Stratus or a Lita, or, as Willie said, a Michelle McCool. But Paige could be in another example of that. If I want to talk some NXT names that I think will be in the Rumble match, I think Sol Ruka could be a possibility. I think JC Jane could be a possibility. Perhaps Izzy Dame. I know there's the whole NXT live events thing, but let's be honest. Card is always subject to change, so we don't exactly know for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I look at all this and I'm like, it's a very possibility. Sol Ruka, I'd like to see her in the Rumble because how great she was, and also because of how wonderful she was against Bayley at the Saturday night's main event last month. So this could be a very good thing for her, especially to be exposed to that. So, and I'm gonna go and take a wild shot in the dark. Are you ready to hear this?
Oh?
This is not a name that anybody knows, because nobody knows if this wrestler even exists. I think for the sake of where they're gonna be, they could make history. The first ever women's Saudi Arabian surprise entrant.
Oh. Oh, that... You know what? That's actually an interesting thing, because, like, obviously, talent's being developed at the Performance Center all the time, sort of thing. So, you never know who they might be having in at the PC that they could bring in for this kind of match.
That's why I'm thinking it could be a possibility. Like, you remember Mansoor in that 50-man Battle Royal thing in 2019?
Yeah.
That was an example of somebody from Saudi Arabia who appeared for the WWE, and that was his first major exposure. The same could potentially happen. History could be made, and if it happens on the women's side, that would be massive history because of, it's Saudi Arabia. Women, Saudi Arabia, the fact that you would see the first ever female superstar from Saudi Arabia, that could very well be history in the making. So, I'm not saying that is happening, but that could be a possibility. So, I figured it was nice to bring it up as a potential thing to look at. So, if you're looking at surprises and thinking, oh, big, massive names that we know, that's not always the case, because I don't think anybody would expect a female wrestler from Saudi Arabia to be in the match. And sure, like, people wouldn't really know her that well, whoever that person may be, but I would have a high, strong feeling that the crowds would. After all, Gina's response to Mansoor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, plus as well, like, it would help give exposure to that talent, which could help lead them over to more opportunities in Evolve and NXT.
Yeah, so, anything is possible. Like, wrestlers come from a lot of different countries. So, just because it's Saudi Arabia, it doesn't mean that women are not allowed to wrestle or shit like that. No, women literally play sports over there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of female athletes in Saudi Arabia, so that is a possibility. So that's my take on the potential of surprises. I want to just honestly go with the flow for this Rumble because of the amazing amount of talent they got on the women's roster. And now for my picks here. My number one pick to win, just like HeelBalor, it's Liv Morgan. I think it's Liv Morgan because of the feuds that she's been going into. The potential of a great feud with Stephanie Vaquer, and the potential of... Because, there's the whole... Raquel Rodriguez is feuding right now with Stephanie, so Stephanie's already involved in Judgment Day business. Roxanne Perez is getting involved as well. Imagine she's going through Raquel Rodriguez on the Raw after Royal Rumble. Then she goes for Roxanne Perez, probably at the Chamber or the Raw after the Chamber. And then WrestleMania, the final one, Liv Morgan. It could be an entire Judgment Day feud full of crazy rivalries heading into it. And it would allow Stephanie Vaquer to actually perform as a fighting champion between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, as one should always be. So, Liv Morgan's my number one pick. My second pick is also Bianca Belair. I really think she will return from injury. She'll compete, become potentially the second woman to win 2 Royal Rumble matches, and set up the WWE title feud with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. So, because this whole thing, the blood boiling feud that Jade Cargill and Naomi had also affected Bianca pretty much. Naomi's out of the picture, as we know, because of pregnancy, and she's going to continue to be out of the picture up until at least maybe SummerSlam. But I think that this could have potential to be the next WWE Women's WrestleMania main event with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I could see that as a WrestleMania Saturday main event. So, if Bianca's to win, I think that's the goal. If Liv Morgan wins, Stephanie Vaquer is the goal. And regardless, there's stories for either one. I really think Stephanie versus Liv and Jade versus Bianca are gonna be the world title matches at WrestleMania, regardless of who wins the Royal Rumble. So we already have stories set in motion, and this could work if pulled off properly. Now, for my wild card pick, this is a big one. I've been thinking a lot about how I would do this because I want to think a wild card pick isn't someone I just want to win for some reason. No, it has to be somebody who I think could absolutely benefit off of this. And that person is Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany
Oh,
is
He's
my
just saying that
wild
because
card.
I'm on here. He's just saying that
No.
because I'm on here. I'm kidding.
Tiffany Stratton is my wild card pick to win the Royal Rumble match because I could see her returning at the Rumble as well. And after everything that she went through last year, the 300 plus day reign as WWE champion,
Yep.
it could be a very good story to tell. The fact that, Tiffany has experience in beating Jade, even though Jade has beaten Tiffany. She doesn't have a rematch yet. This could be her way to get back into the picture. And then Bianca's in the picture now. Now we're looking at 3 top women. So this could very well lead to many things. Liv for the sake of the the Stephanie feud. Bianca for the sake of the Jade feud. And then Tiffany Stratton as the wild card, also for the sake of the Jade feud. So a lot of times these things don't work out because people are absent for understandable reasons. But if these ladies return, we could very well be in for a roller coaster of a ride heading into Las Vegas. That is my thoughts on the Women's Rumble. And I took a long fucking time to talk.
trust me, man. Like, you had to get everything out there, sort of thing. And I mean, those are some very good picks there. Like, really good, especially when it comes to surprises. I'm intrigued there, especially with that sort of like
Mhm.
Saudi Arabian talent. Like, I'm intrigued to see if that would be the case, how that may play out, sort of thing. Before I get to my
Oh,
pick,
we're
sort of,
talking wild card.
yeah.
Wait, one second, Tyler. We're talking wild cards. If it's okay, can I throw a wild card out there? It's
Well, I
okay.
was actually about to say for you to
Yeah,
mention
we're
your
about to
wild
say
card.
Willie never put his wild card in because I came up with the idea after he was done.
Yeah,
Well, there you
so
go.
HeelBalor, what's your wild card?
You know what? I doubt this person's gonna win. I know she's in a tag team, which I'm enjoying the tag team and getting the tag titles can be fun. This wild card would be fun. She was the inaugural women's intercontinental champ. I'm going with an affair of mine, Lyra Valkyria. I think she could
Ooh.
probably be the Iron Woman of this match, honestly. Lyra Valkyria could be a pretty big, I wouldn't say, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't say big, but pretty big surprise. Yeah, big surprise, I guess. Be like, holy crap, she won the Rumble? Like, wow, nobody expected this. Like, I think it'd be pretty cool. Plus, I'm a big fan of
Okay.
Lyra, so that'd be
I
cool.
won't lie.
I'll take it.
I won't,
I'm down to
yeah, I
have it,
won't
so.
lie. I won't lie. I expected Lyra to potentially be the Iron Woman last year when she entered at
Yeah.
number 4.
Yeah.
I was figuring, okay, she's Intercontinental Champion. She wants to make a big showing. She was out in 10
Yep.
minutes.
Yeah.
Well, second one eliminated too.
Yep.
That sucked. But yeah, I think that would be a very interesting pick because the whole
Hell
deal
yeah.
about people you wouldn't expect to win could very well win. I guarantee Jey Uso was nobody's wild card last year.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about that. I'm kidding. Yeah,
Talk
true.
about it because I think it was a great victory for Jey Uso.
Yeah.
It was pretty surprising. I'll give them that. Nobody expected
I
it,
like
so
Jey
I'll give
Uso,
them credit for
so
that.
yeet. But yeah, definitely. I do like your thinking there with your pick there, HeelBalor. I love your thinking there with Lyra.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Oh man, this is gonna be an interesting one for me because like I feel like there's a lot of really interesting directions they could go with like who could be in the match and who could win, sort of things. So, like I'll give out a few names, but just like in terms of like the surprise or thing, but like I'm not 100% sure, but definitely there could be some where like, oh, they might be something you might think about. I don't know. First things first, How has WWE never done in the Women's Rumble having Trish and Lita in the same ring at the same time? How is that not
Well, I
happening?
mean, because they ended up teaming up at the first Evolution event, so it's not like they haven't done that recently.
Yeah, but like in terms of Royal Rumbles, like that's not happened. Like when both of them have been in like the Rumble sort of thing, they've never crossed paths in the Rumble.
And they
So
also, and if you think about it, they still have not resolved that feud they had in 2023 when Trish attacked Lita.
yeah, so honestly, why not? I mean, it's Saudi Arabia. They probably would be happy to be able to do that. So let's do that. Let's have Trish and Lita finally interact in a women's rumble. I think that would be awesome. Paige, or if you've watched the other side of wrestling, Saraya, I would love to see her come back in the women's rumble. I know she has been absent from the ring for a while, and my God, just the idea of Paige and AJ Lee being in the Rumble together like that would just, oh, that would be so good. I would love it so much because, like, 2014, I was watching the product a fair bit, and, like, Paige and AJ Lee, their feud was just so damn good. So, like, oh, that would bring all the nostalgia. That really would. That would be awesome to see. I do like your thinking there when it comes to like a mystery, like brand new talent signing sort of thing. Like someone from Saudi Arabia who is coming in from like the tryouts or like the PC sort of thing and like being brought in, making their debut in the Rumble before they go on to NXT and Evolve. I do like that. I think that could be a good idea. I could see them doing that. But like in general, I do see like a fair bit of NXT and Evolve representation. Maybe not as much Evolve as such, but NXT especially. Like Sol Ruka absolutely is going to be in the Rumble. Tatum Paxley, I think, would be a great fit for the Rumble. I think, oh man, just imagine the crazy stuff that could be with Tatum in the Rumble. Like, I mean, considering the fact that she was coming out recently on NXT with a bloody chainsaw, my God, I would laugh my ass off if she entered the Rumble with a chainsaw. That would be the funniest shit ever. That would. I don't think it would happen, but it would be funny though. It would. Blake Monroe is quite an obvious pick for it, but I mean, it would be awesome to see Blake Monroe appear in the Rumble, and yeah, honestly, I'm intrigued to see how it goes here. Oh man, but who have I got winning? I'll start with the wild card at least, because like there's not much of a chance of it happening, but like it could. I'm gonna go for that with Jordan Grace. Yeah, I know Jordan Grace and Jay Cargill have currently got themselves a feud going, but I could see the idea of Jordan winning the Rumble. I absolutely could, because, like, Jordan Grace is fantastic. One of the best additions WWE has had, even though her theme song, yeah, they should have just used her TNA one. But still, like, Jordan Grace is like one of the best out there in the company. So I could see them wanting to strap the rocket to her and give her the Rumble win. I absolutely could see that. In terms of like who my backup sort of like pick is for the Rumble, it is a Judgment Day member, but it's not Liv Morgan. I've actually got Roxanne Perez. Because last year, Roxanne Perez was the runner-up. She was the runner-up last year in the Women's Rumble. And, you know what? Considering how great she has been in WWE so far and, like, the main roster, how her main roster run's going so far, I could see WWE being, like, so impressed with Roxanne Perez that they would be like, you know what? Why don't we give her the Rumble? Why don't we give her the Rumble win here? And, like, you can have, like, Raquel or Liv beat Stephanie for the belt beforehand sort of thing and do, like, a Judgment Day triple threat if you want to. I don't know if you should, but You know what? Honestly, I would be intrigued to see the direction they would go in, but Roxanne would be my backup pick. But my main pick, my absolute main pick, and obviously it's dependent on if she actually shows up, but I 100% think she's gonna be Bianca Belair. Like, 100% it is gonna be Bianca Belair winning the Rumble, in my opinion. I think Bianca, the whole Jade Naomi storyline, it needs its conclusion. It needs its bloody conclusion, and I think this is how we're gonna get that. Bianca winning the Rumble, then Jade can be like in a promo being like, you know, you actually attacked me, but like that could be like a fabricated sort of thing. Maybe so it can be like, I don't know, kind of diversion sort of thing, which would then lead to Mania, main event of night one, and well, Bianca winning the belt, which probably will help in a way signal the big changes for SmackDown in that sense. So, yeah, I've got Bianca win the Rumble. I think it's an obvious pick, but sometimes obvious picks do work out. Oh, man, but if you thought the Women's Rumble was stacked, oh, take a look at the men's. Because, folks, this Men's Rumble, like, I know it's common to say this, like, every year when it comes to it, but honestly, with this year, it actually does feel stacked. It really does. Oh, man. So, of course, just like before, let's run down all the names we got. We have Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Penta, Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu, Dragon Lee, Gunther, Austin Theory, Solo Sikoa, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Javon Evans, Obafemi, Rey Mysterio. Apparently, I believe Rey Mysterio probably could be in it, but maybe not due to medical reasons. We weren't 100%, but well, on my thing it does say that Rey's in it, so I'll at least count for that. And, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, so quite a stacked field, I would say, with it. Even if there might be some names that people like, why are they here? Just, well, they're here for a reason. And that is definitely for sure. I mean, the men's field, there's so much potential for what could happen. Like, so many potential options for, like, winners and surprise or everything. Like, this actually feels unpredictable in, like, that kind of sense. But it's gonna be hard to predict it, folks, but I think we can. I think we know.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh yeah. So
Sorry, you said it's going to be tough to predict this match.
well, I mean, fair enough for sure.
Shout out to pitch meeting.
Based. Christian, I will start with you here. What sort of surprise appearances would you like to see in the Men's Rumble? And who have you got winning the Men's Rumble?
Is it because I opened my mouth?
Nah, just because in terms of, like, the order.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just say it was because I opened my mouth. Anyway, okay. Yeah, you are right. It does actually feel pretty stacked. In terms of who I got as surprise appearances, well, that depends on, once again, your term of surprise appearances. However, I do have a few interesting choices here. For one thing, I'm not going to go into the surprises just yet, but I have a great idea for who I think should start the match.
Oh.
Entrant number 1 should be Cody Rhodes. And here's the reason why I say that. In his last couple of appearances, you noticed he won the Rumble in 2023 at 30, won in 2024 at 15. Go back another 15, you're at 1.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Starting at the end, and then his next match he was in the middle, now he's at the very start, literally going backwards. I think that would be funny, and that would be really cool. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, and somebody who you should start with, Get this. Entrant 1 should be Cody Rhodes. Entrant 2 should be Javon Evans.
Oh, I love you thinking with that.
Because the reason I say this is because I would like to see Javon Evans as an Iron Man in the match. Or if not that, then he should absolutely start the match and be bouncy his whole time. Because that's the type of entrant where you'd want them to start and be there as fast as possible. Because Javon Evans has... He very well could be the next Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And also, for other interesting entrants, because you put in all these confirmed names, there's also other names that haven't been confirmed, but I think will be in the match. And that includes Ray Phoenix, Carmelo Hayes, and Matt Cardona.
Oh, always ready.
I could see the guy who looks a lot like me in NXT show up.
Yes, we need that.
Everybody knows who that is. All Ego Ethan Page. But I have a very interesting idea for a surprise entrant.
Oh?
One entrant will be El Grande Americano. The next will be Chad Gable.
Oh
Please,
my god, that
please.
would be amazing.
Please.
So we finally put the rumors to rest that Chad Gable is not El Grande Americano.
Yes. Do it. Please
Because it's time to put that in. Because here's the thing. You know what I would do if I was booking? I would start the feud there at the Rumble and set this up for six-man tag action at WrestleMania as Los Americanos take on American Made.
That would actually be a great idea in terms of a Mania match. That actually would
And
be
because
a really
I said that, it's likely not happening.
Hey, even if we get
another
like the
interesting-
singles or even if we get like the singles or the six-man, it would still be an awesome match. It would.
Yeah. I also believe that somebody else who should appear in the Royal Rumble, based off the storyline purposes, you were talking about Rey Mysterio, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I was, because like when it comes to Rey Mysterio,
We don't know if he's going to be able to compete because of a possible injury. I think that he was going to be an entrant, but turns out once again, he's not medically cleared, so we're having someone take his place, and that someone is Finn Balor.
Oh, because like of course on Raw there was the whole story of
I will
Finn
lose it.
being taken out of the match because there's not enough room, even though
There's no spots. The match is full. Sorry, Finn, you're out of time. And that's why I'm like, Rey Mysterio, he's scheduled to be in the match. Imagine if he got taken out, Finn Balor replaces him, and he doesn't win, but he sets a huge stage going forward because I really think he's on a warpath finally.
Yeah.
So that is a possibility. And Brock Lesnar, we all know he's gonna tear it up and then get eliminated by his eventual WrestleMania opponent. Somebody else who I think could show up is potentially Joe Hendry. Oh god, I said his name! Anyway.
Thank goodness.
Someone who I think should be in the Royal Rumble match for comedic reasons, Kit Wilson.
Yes! Yes!
We all agree his song is awesome.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Like at
It
first,
has been stuck in my mind for the last month.
I-
And I am someone who would be considered toxically masculine, but like at first I hated that, but then I hear it again and again. I'm like, oh wait, why do I like this? Why am I liking it?
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's funny. And
like at
I
first,
just saw that video. I just saw this video on Facebook. Yes, I'm on Facebook, guys. Shut up. Anyways, I saw this video where it shows Kit Wilson's music playing to the beat of Family Guy when Peter, Quagmire, Joe, and Cleveland are dancing in a skate park.
Oh my god. I mean, with Kit Wilson's fame, like at first, like I was one of those guys who was like, oh, Def Rebel screwed up again, but now I just can't get that song out of my head. It's just way too good. So I love you thinking
And that's because Def Rebel did nothing.
Based.
Yeah, it's not a Def Rebel theme. It was set up and created by Kit Wilson and his music producers.
Nice. That's what we like.
Anyway, I think we all know as well who might actually be in the Royal Rumble match, so let's get it out of the way. Royce Keys.
In the words of that Guardians of the Galaxy clip, who?
Well, you might know him as Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, the
Yeah, I
rumors have
heard
been going
Royce
around for
Keys.
months.
I heard the rumors are saying Royce Keys might be his ring name, and that's because Royce is the name of I think his son. So that could be a possibility. However, I've seen reports about Powerhouse Hobbs being signed with the WWE, so I really think that could be a good place for him to make his first appearance. Like, imagine if Powerhouse Hobbs is in the ring with the likes of Obafemi, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Brock Lesnar.
Meat on meat.
Yep. Alright, let's say it. Chris Jericho.
It's quite an interesting scenario with him, because, like, even as we speak right now, I believe he's still listed on AEW's roster page sort of thing, but we don't know. We don't know what the situation was with Jericho, because it's been so convoluted and so mysterious that it's like, we don't even know.
If he does show up, oh, in the words of the French narrator,
Is that it? Just
Don't you remember the episode where SpongeBob and Patrick were taking care of a baby clam, and like every day is like the next time for sure, and then like the last one was like, huh? And then French narrator,
I don't think I've seen that one.
he got hit in the head with a coconut.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell. Anyway, still though, Chris Jericho, let's be honest, that's been the talk of the town for a while. Ever since he was supposedly a free agent from AEW, then he was set to supposedly appear on the season premiere of Raw on Netflix, and well, that never happened, obviously. But now people are saying it's the Royal Rumble. Truthfully, I don't know what's going on with the Chris Jericho situation, but it is a very high possibility that he could show up there. At this rate, I have accepted that you should never say never when it comes to the Royal Rumble. I learned that lesson 6 years ago when Edge came back.
How was that 6 years ago?
I still get goosebumps every time I watch that video back. Every time.
Because if you guys remember, I kept saying, he's not coming back, it's not happening. And I said that because I personally believed that it was too dangerous. And I was so confident in that. And, well, as you guys know, it blew up in my face. So, yeah. Speaking of yeah, I think LA Knight is going to return to the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
The fact of the matter is, there's not a lot of people who I could think about, outsiders, that I could think about to be surprise entrants. And by outsiders, I'm not talking Logan Paul. Because at this point, he's one of them.
Yeah.
But I really think that just goes to show how stacked the current roster is, because you're trying to think about a lot of things, and then that never happens. And hold on a second, voices in the background, but regardless, don't worry about it. Pouring out some things.
Yeah,
Happens a lot in my basement.
Folks.
Anyways, like I was saying, the thing of the matter is, like, the roster is very stacked because there are a lot of talent from the Raw side, from the SmackDown side, potentially NXT. And then when you write down the list of all those who you think it could be in the Rumble match, you're like, oh crap, I got no room for surprises now. And it's about time that we have a Royal Rumble where you don't feel like you need to rely on surprise entrance, because if you watch the Royal Rumble and just rely on surprise entrance, you're honestly looking at it the wrong way. I prefer a Royal Rumble where there's so many favorites to win. And with that being said, I'm going to talk straight about my 3 picks. My main pick. I start with my main pick right here. My main pick to win the Royal Rumble is Braun Breaker. I think it's time for them to pull the trigger on Braun Breaker to win the Royal Rumble, become the second or third youngest Royal Rumble competitor, because let's be honest, the youngest Royal Rumble winner still is Brock Lesnar at 25.
Yeah.
Still, though, it's about time we have a WWE champion, a potential world champion, that is at least under 30, because we haven't had that since Bray Wyatt almost 10 years ago.
Damn.
Dang it! Stop making me feel old.
You want to feel old? SmackDown Live became a thing almost 10 years ago.
Damn.
You want to feel old? This year marks 20 years since Rey Mysterio won the Rumble and won the world title at WrestleMania.
Holy shit.
Damn. Oh my gosh.
And it also marks my 30th year of existence. Same for you, Willie.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know, right? We're getting old.
We're reaching.
Yeah. And this year I'm
But
turning
regardless.
25, so
Yeah. Leo, what about you?
I turned 27 in a month.
Keep those 20s alive, man.
yeah.
In the blink of an eye, I'll be 30.
Yep. So I think that, Braun Breaker is my number 1 pick to win the Royal Rumble. I think it would be the right move to crown him and continue the feud with CM Punk, and also to potentially set up what could happen if he's world champion and Seth Rollins returns after, everything that went down when Seth was attacked.
Oh joy. Great. Anyways, excuse me. That'd be pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
With, of course, Seth Rollins, hidden eyepiece, Austin Theory.
Oh yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
I ain't fooled whatsoever. Austin Theory is working for Seth. So, that's my number 1 pick. My number 2 pick. My backup pick is very tough because I'm like, oh crap. Because I'm thinking about Cody Rhodes, and I'm thinking now about Jacob Fatu. I also have a thought of a possibility that Sami Zayn could do it. He will lose to Drew McIntyre and then compete in the Rumble and win it. I don't know. And then Roman Reigns as another possibility. But I don't know where you would go with that. Obafemi, but also him, I don't know where you go with that. And that's why I'm like, holy crap, I don't know where to go with this. So that's why it took a long time for me to think about it while we were talking about the previous match. While you guys were talking about the previous match, I was thinking to myself, oh god, what would I do for a backup pick for the men's Rumble? So that's why it got stuck between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And my final pick, my final choice, Roman Reigns. That's my final pick as my backup winner. And now for my wild card. Holy shit. For the record, I'm not picking Cody Rhodes as my wild card because he's a likely contender to actually win it. My wild card pick. This will sound crazy. But what if, because of everything that's going on, what if it's Austin Theory?
Oh.
What if the Vision are working so hard to try and eliminate all the competitors? Because if you recall, they have a goal to ensure that Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble match. Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul all agreed that Braun Breaker should win the Royal Rumble match. Imagine if they're going through all that just to make it happen, and when we finally get down to potentially that happening, more eliminations happen. Logan's gone, Bronson's gone, and Braun Breaker, let's say it's down to him and maybe Roman Reigns or something like that, or Cody Rhodes. And Austin Theory has this plan in store to try and eliminate Cody to help Braun Breaker, but then he ends up at the same time eliminating Braun Breaker and winning the Royal Rumble by accident.
Oh, ho, ho.
Or was it an accident? Because Austin Theory is actually working for Seth Rollins. And now he's got the title shot for WrestleMania instead of Braun Breaker. And that would be an absolute shocker. This would be literally like a Jey Uso winning situation because that would shock the living hell out of everybody. In this case, though, there wouldn't be so much outrage, I don't think, because look at Austin Theory, that young gun. And you see that, and I would be like, oh shit, Austin Theory just won the Royal Rumble. And I bet even he would be like, wait, I won? And that would set the stage for a wild road to WrestleMania for sure, and a lot of tensions with the Vision.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to see how that would play out.
And that's my picks.
Wow, well, you definitely fought really well with those picks for sure, and I'm intrigued to see how that could play out there. HeelBalor, you're up next. Who are some surprise appearances you would like to see in this year's Men's Royal Rumble,
Man.
and who have you got winning?
My surprise people showing up, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna throw out some AAA talent. And one I'm very familiar with, I'm a big fan of. That's my boy Psycho Clown. I would love to see Psycho Clown show up in the Royal Rumble. It'd be cool. I pop, I go insane. It'd be pretty cool. Another person I could see showing up is probably maybe Mr. Iguana. Definitely could
Yes.
see him showing up, be a big pop. That'd be incredible to see. As for like anybody else, I have no idea. Maybe obviously my XT talent probably. But my like wild card, it's not the wild card who I think could win the Rumble. Jacob Fatu. Jacob
Oh.
Fatu. You know, because he's in this whole thing with Cody and the WWE champ Drew McIntyre. Could see, you know, maybe them throwing him a bone and be like, you know what? Let's get surprised there. Jacob Fatu winning the Royal Rumble. I would not be upset with that at all. I like Jacob. He's incredible. He's good. And him, you know, win the Rumble be a very big surprise and something I don't think anybody would expect. So he is my surprise thing right there in my backup. All right, time for the main picks. I'm going to start with number 2, first of all. I think this is everyone's pick to win the Rumble, but he's my second, and that is Roman Reigns. Yes, I see it all around. Roman Reigns could win the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, folks. He doesn't need it. I like Roman. I do. I don't think he needs it. I really don't. I understand like where they could go with it. I do. We'll see a Punk, have him run with Drew McIntyre. It's Roman Reigns. The dude could literally just say I want a title match and just be given it. I understand, you know, they probably want to watch the whole taste of him winning the Rumble in 2015, which I also can definitely understand because we don't talk about that Rumble. You know, I just personally think Roman doesn't need it. Will I be upset if he wins? Yeah, I will be pretty upset if Roman wins, but not the end of the world, obviously. I think Roman's done everything that he could do in this company. A second Royal Rumble win wouldn't hurt, I guess. I just personally don't think he needs it. That's just me. Wouldn't be upset with it at all. Not too much, but I don't think he needs it. But I could definitely see Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. And my number 1 pick to win the Rumble, well, Christian said it earlier, and this is my dog since 2.0, and I've been rocking with him since then, or 2021, but whichever maybe, yeah, 2021. My boy Braun Breaker. He is my pick to win the Men's Rumble this year. It's time, man. It is time to pull the trigger on these young guns. I know you got like the Chamber coming up, which I definitely could see Braun maybe going to win the Chamber. Come on, man. I think the Rumble is a perfect scenario to lay it out for Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns too probably. Braun Breaker, go in there and spirit everybody. The big thing I want to see is him confronting Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. That's a big stare down I want to see. You know, Roman Reigns running it back again from last year's Royal Rumble with those two, having the Spear Fest was incredible. And just maybe the final 2 could be those 2, and then Roman throws Braun out. Braun throws Roman. I'm talking about Roman Reigns. Braun throws Roman out. I think it's time, man. And I'm outside me being a big, humongous fan of Braun Breaker. I really think there's a scenario there where we can go in there. You know, there's also a scenario where, you know, the Vision said they're going to, you know, make sure Braun Breaker wins the Rumble, which I could see a scenario where person like maybe Austin Theory, we all know he's probably working with Seth Rollins. Throws Braun Breaker out, costs him the match. Maybe someone's gonna throw Braun Breaker out, like Leah very wild, chaotic stuff in the Vision. Maybe Seth Rollins' music hits and that distracts Braun or all the Vision. Then he gets thrown out. Like no, it's time, man. I really think it's time. Personally, I'm striving when the iron's hot. He's red hot right now. It's time. Again, yeah, totally most sense. I'm a big fanboy, Braun Breaker. Plus, I just really want to see him win the world championship this year, and I'm gonna cry, be emotional. Probably more cry if he gets to win WrestleMania, but we're gonna find out if he gets to win the Rumble. I think it's time, man. My man, B Breaker, the badass. He's gonna go in there and do his shit, and I'm rooting for him all the way. Braun Breaker's my pick for the men's Royal Rumble. Let's go, Braun.
Oh, definitely some great thinking there with your picks, especially when it comes to the AAA talent. Oh, yeah. Leo, who are you got as some surprise entrants that you would like to see in this year's Men's Rumble, and who have you got winning?
A couple of ideas of mine that I've had already said. I expect a return of Chad Gable and confronting El Grande Americano. I can definitely see, Mister. You say his name and he appears.
Oh, yeah.
Another one I can definitely see a Mr. Iguana showing up because of everyone in the AAA talent pool, I think he's the one most people probably in Saudi Arabia will give a big pop to. He's like the one I think has become the most popular. Like, sure, like Vikingo and like Psycho Clown and all that, but like WWE wise, I think he's probably the most popular one. As for moments,
Popular, huh?
yes, popular.
Popular. You're gonna be popular. I love Wicked.
Another one is I would love to see is two moments that is with Brock Lesnar. That is one, like when he comes in, eliminates a couple people, the entrant to come right after him is Kid Wilson.
Oh, no!
Kid Wilson will
Oh
come
my
out
god, you want
like
another Enzo situation?
yes. Hey, he's gonna get in the ring, smiling, takes his jacket off, and then he sees like, oh, I'm in the ring with Brock Lesnar. And he's like, you are toxic masculinity, and he goes for him, and he just gets eaten alive.
Or how funny would it be if Brock is dancing to Kid's music like he did to MVP?
Yes!
You know what? I would love. He should do his dance with it, kind of like when he had his boombox.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And
Like
but the main thing
I should totally make a video edit of Brock doing that and it's to Kid's music.
You should do it. You
and
should
then
absolutely do it.
another thing, but the main thing I want to see from Brock is him and Obafemi facing off.
Yes.
Take your technical wrestlers, take your high flying shit, get out of here. It's
Hell
big,
yeah.
meaty men slapping me. That's what I want.
Ooh.
Well, maybe they wouldn't have to do all those flippy stuff if some wrestlers were competing with big meaty claws.
Did you
What did you
say,
say,
punk?
Big meaty claws!
Oh,
Classic.
these claws aren't just for attracting mates, you know.
Bring it on, old man! Bring it on!
How many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love
I
the
love
young
the young people. Oh my god, that is totally Donald Trump. I mean, what? Moving on. Continue, Leo.
Yeah, continue.
I think you meant to say. Think you meant to say Joe Biden, but okay. Anyway, uh, uh, because Mr. Y2J. I, I'm kind of done with him. He's 56 years old, but I've come to the point of just like, you know what? Just let him have this. Like he can just have his little run back in WWE, like go on for a couple months, maybe no longer than a year, and it can be over. That's the way I see it. As for my winners, I think it's obvious. My number one to win is Braun Breaker. My backup winner is Roman Reigns. My wild card is a returning
Yeah.
LA Knight. I can actually see a very scenario that who was it who made a video of Murph's MYT13 made a video of how he would book the Rumble. His way of booking the Rumble was Roman and Braun Breaker was the last two standing in the ring trying to throw each other out. LA Knight was one who got knocked out of the ring, but not over the top rope. He sees the opportunity, gets in, dumps them both over, and he can win the Rumble. Let's not forget that this is the same dude who 3 years in a row has been denied the Money in the Bank contract. And after seeing Unreal, like you see the pain in his eyes, maybe this was a trick way to get us to sympathize with him. And you know what? Maybe this could be a consolation prize. Like, hey, we're gonna get to win the Rumble, and you can get finally a one-on-one world title match, and it's gonna happen at WrestleMania.
That's some smart thinking, actually. Like,
Wait,
I know.
did you say finally get? Did you say finally get a one-on-one world title match? Because he's had one of those.
Well, at the world heavyweight title.
Okay,
Like,
that's
yes,
fair.
he had a one-on-one match with Roman, but what he needs is a match with no interference, like no tomfoolery, just one-on-one, no shenanigans. Or if there are shenanigans, probably like a ref bump.
But that's it.
That's it.
You know what? I do like your thinking there. It's interesting how you brought up there that whole Unreal thing. Just, I mean, normally you would never really think about that kind of thing, but you know what? That's actually a good point there you mentioned there with that. So, yeah.
I just find it interesting. I mean, I don't even like the show. I think it's kind of stupid to kind of show the behind the scenes, and all it's doing is kind of making Triple H look like a ball buffoon. Like, oh, we're just planning ahead, thinking what's best
I'm the
with
same
who
way.
we think is that. Like, why would you show all this? Like I'm of the old Carney way. Like, don't explain the business.
You also forgot to say
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Is it scary that that sounded so accurate?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely did.
All I, all I need is a big giant nose on my face, but even then it'll probably be smaller than Triple H's actual nose.
Actually, Trick Williams has a nose. You want to borrow his? That's actually true, though. Trick Williams has a much noticeably larger nose than Triple H.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh man, I think this one's gonna be quite tricky for me to go for, but I think I can nail it here for you guys. So, in terms of like surprise appearances, like there's a few obvious ones, but I feel like once it makes sense. In terms of like people who could be like from other companies coming on in, I don't expect any Pro Wrestling Noah talent, sadly. Even though I'm still waiting for WWE to bring in Kaito Kiyomiya for something. Please do that, but I don't expect it to be here in the Rumble. AAA, I mean, it's obvious who I'm gonna go for. In the words of Ollie Davis, it's Mr. Iguana! He's going iguana! But that's it. That's the thing with that. Yeah, that's who I would go for like a AAA pick. Although Vikingo would be a good one. I would love to see Vikingo get into the Rumble, but considering how his reception is in Mexico, not sure how the crowd in Saudi would react, but you never know with this kind of thing. You never know as such. I would love to see Mike Santana enter the Rumble, of course, that being a TNA pick. There's probably not much of a chance of that happening, but man, Mike Santana would be an awesome surprise for the Rumble. That would be fantastic. But I mean, in terms of like legends, there isn't really many I can think of. I mean, yeah, Jericho is like an obvious one. Side note, if Jericho does come back, please let him come out to Judas. Not Spotlight. Spotlight is a terrible song, but Judas. Let it be Judas. But honestly, like, there isn't really many legend picks I could really go for as such. I mean, of course, Powerhouse Hobbs, as we mentioned, he signed with WWE sort of thing, so, like, there is a chance that he'll make his debut in the Rumble, but you never know. And heck, even then, like, earlier we were mentioning with the Women's Rumble how there was, like, a potential for, like, a Saudi entrant. There is also the potential for the Men's Rumble to have a Saudi entrant, because just recently on WWE social media sort of thing, they actually posted up a video about a brand new signing from Saudi Arabia. So there is a chance that person could show up.
Yeah, I think he could be in the Rumble, but at the same time, I'm also thinking his last name's Tuwake. The last time we heard that name was the Tuwake Trophy thing.
Yeah. So it's something to think about, I suppose, in that sort of sense. But in terms of who I've got winning, oh boy, I'm gonna surprise a lot of people with these picks, but I have my reasons here. Okay, for my wild card pick, there is not much of a chance of it happening, but I would love to see this. Oba Femi. Oba making his debut in the Rumble and winning the Rumble would be a true statement piece. Sort of thing of like, ooh, this guy's a big deal. And honestly, the crowd already is over with Obafemi. Like, they love the guy so much. So, like, even the main roster crowd, like, when they did that little run for Saturday Night's main event, like, they loved him. So, honestly, if they were to give him the Rumble win and go on to face, like, Drew McIntyre or Sami Zayn or CM Punk or whoever wins the world title sort of thing, like, I would love that. That would be awesome, but there's probably not much of a chance of it happening, so that's my wild card. My backup pick. You might be surprised that this is my backup pick, but my backup is Braun Breaker. Yeah. I love Braun Breaker.
My guy.
Braun Breaker is like one of my favorites in the company. He is amazing. One of the absolute best. Like, he's got the charisma. He's got the in-ring style. He's got the agility. He's got great matches, great promo, great everything. He should be the face of the company. He absolutely should be. But I've just got this feeling that, like, I really have this feeling.
Heck? There's somebody at the door, boys.
Huh?
There's somebody at the door. Go check. Someone knocked at the door.
Okay, let me check here.
Yeah, go look at the door.
Oh, hello. Good.
Oh, hello. Would you mind coming in?
Oh, hello
Oh my
there.
God, it's Mikey.
Hello
Hello,
there.
Mikey. What's up?
Hello.
Mike.
Oh
Hello
my
there,
God, he
Christian.
made it.
It's been
Hello.
how long?
It's been, I think, over 5 years.
Holy crap. It is great to see you, man.
It's great to be here. Are we still recording the podcast? I'm guessing so, right?
Yes, we are. We're actually towards the end, but we're not really. But we're at the men's rumble.
Oh, we're at the men's? Okay, so just for clarification for the women's, I think Roxanne's winning the whole thing. But yeah.
Oh wow, that was quick and out of nowhere. That's awesome.
Yeah, fair
No,
enough.
What about
but
the other
just
matches?
reasoning behind it is because I think that it's going to be Liv and Roxanne in the final four, at least the final two, and then there's going to be some dissension
Okay.
between the two, and then Liv. Obviously
Okay.
people are thinking that Liv is going to win, but then at the last moment, Roxanne eliminates her either accidentally or on purpose, and then that's what creates the dissension in Judgment Day.
Mm.
Because again, when she wins, it's going to be like, oh, Judgment Day is going to win, because you know how they always said, like for the past several weeks, they're like, hey. Judgment Day is going to take over Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and all that stuff. Well, that's the idea at first when Roxanne wins, but obviously it's going to create dissension within it. So that's who I think is going to win the women's.
Not
Mm,
bad. I like it.
fair enough. What about the men's? Who would you have winning the men's there, Mike?
Did you guys already pick your favorites for the men's?
I was
Yes.
just in the middle of going through mine, but I'll let you do yours here.
No. Go ahead. No. Finish it, dude. Finish it, and then I'll say mine.
All right, and that's fine with me. Yeah. So as I was saying with my
Don't
backup
forget the
pick,
wild card one as well.
yeah, as I was saying with my backup pick with Bron Breakker, he should be the face of the company, but I don't know, just the way WWE has been presenting it so far. I just got this bad feeling that they're not. Like, I've just got this bad feeling that they don't see him being the next world champion. And I'd love to be proven wrong. I really would, but after the whole thing of, him losing to Punk on the Stranger Things Raw, then the whole suspension angle, and then the whole, we're gonna help Bron Breakker win the Rumble type deal. I don't know. I am sorry. There's a reason why he's my backup and not my main pick. It's just, the way WWE's just been going with it, I don't think Bron Breakker would be my first choice to win. I'd love to see him win and prove me wrong, but that's why he's my backup. So, in terms of who I have actually winning the Rumble, well, it actually goes back to what I said when it comes to the Gunther match, because, I talked about how him beating AJ Styles wouldn't have much of an impact in terms of the Rumble. This is what I meant. I have Gunther winning the Royal Rumble. And I have my reasons for it. I have my reasons. And the main reason being is that Gunther has legitimately been like the top heel as such as of late. Like, he has felt like the legitimate top heel. Like, he's felt legitimate. He's gone the legitimate sort of heel reactions that you want and everything. It's like, I see what WWE's doing, and I think they're doing it in such a way where, like, it would make all the sense in the world, because, like, with the Women's Rumble, yeah, a babyface wins that, yeah, and, like, men's heel, yeah, that kind of thing, too, but I like the idea of Gunther being not just a career killer, but the WWE champion. That's where I have Sami Zayn play into this, because, of course, I have Sami winning the WWE title, so then, at WrestleMania, the story is that Gunther, now that he has won the Rumble, picking who he wants to face at Mania, he looks at Sami, and he remembers 2 years ago, at WrestleMania 40, Sami Zayn was the one to beat Gunther. I think we are getting another Sami Zayn versus Gunther match, but this time it's Gunther chasing Sami. And Gunther would win the WWE title. He would continue his career killer gimmick, going ahead and being like the uber power hungry champion, just like, I've got all the power, you can't stop me. And anyone who tries, I will retire you. And he goes ahead and retires people like, yes, Jericho, but also The Miz, R-Truth, Brock Lesnar, that kind of thing. Just like all the people who most likely are probably going to be retiring this year, they'll be handed to Gunther on a silver platter sort of thing, which then leads to later in the year where someone will go up to go against Gunther and then finally take down Gunther. I think that's a story that could really be investing for the year. Because, like, last year, one of the big stories was the Cena heel turn sort of thing. And while it didn't work out, it was an overarching story for a good chunk of the year. I think this year's overarching story on the SmackDown side of things is going to be the power hungriness of Gunther. And I mean, SmackDown as a brand, SmackDown needs Gunther. Like, with all the sort of like talent additions, I think the only two left that they would need for SmackDown to truly get back on top are Obafemi and Gunther. So, very much, I think it would make sense for Gunther to be moved over to SmackDown in that sort of sense. So, I may be a surprising pick for me to go with Gunther, but I think logically, I think it's a smart pick, and I'm intrigued to see where they go with that, but yeah, I've got Gunther winning there. So, Mike, as you were saying before, who have you got to win the Men's Rumble?
So I was thinking about it for a while. And by the way, shout out to Tyler for giving that breakdown of like Gunther, um, and the way that he could possibly win and stuff like that. Like that's all cool. I have told Will HeelBalor on this and some of the guys as well.
Yeah.
I am a huge advocate for Braun Breaker winning the Rumble, and I'll tell you why. I think he, I think he like this could just be my opinion, and if you don't agree with my opinion, that's totally fine. I'm open to hearing anybody, but I feel like we haven't had a Rumble, especially within the past. Oh God, I think I'll even say since like Shinsuke winning it, where we had like a breakout star winning it. And what I mean by that is we haven't had someone that has been, I don't want to say on the shelf because Braun has been on a high pedestal within the past few months into going into a year. We've known for years that Braun Breaker has this star potential, even going when they rebranded the black and gold to NXT 2.0. And we've seen the growth and development of Braun Breaker in NXT, him becoming a two-time NXT champion, having bangers with people like LA Knight and Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth now and stuff like that. And we've seen the growth and the grind that he has had since then. But when he got to the main roster, it was kind of a testament to what he could do on that main event scene. And then you pair him up with a guy like Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins before he got injured, and a Logan Paul, and I feel like too, and probably a lot of your guys' listeners might agree with this, but I think that World Heavyweight Championship match with Punk, I think, established Braun Breaker as a main event player. And fans of Braun could say it was longer than that. People could have said that it was when he won the NXT title, and they kind of pushed him when that whole rebrand of NXT 2.0 had happened. But I think it was because of that match with Punk on Raw, that first one of 2026, um, that established Braun as a main event talent. And what I mean by we haven't had a Rumble where we had something like this happen is because, like, since Shinsuke, is that for the past several years, I feel like, especially in the men's Rumble, we've always had winners that either have won the Rumble before or that have already cemented themselves as main event status people, like Cody winning back to back. I think we've already established, watching his work in AEW and what he did on the indie scene, and even before that, when he was, Intercontinental Champion heading into multiple WrestleManias, being 28 and 27. Um, we already knew Cody was a main event guy heading into both the 2023 and the 2024 Rumbles. We already knew that Brock Lesnar winning for whatever whatever reason, um, you know what I mean. He was already a made man at that point, and then same thing goes with the 2020 Rumble being Drew Mac. I mean, even if you could say like maybe even Drew McIntyre, maybe since then, maybe if we're going a little bit more recent since 2020 Rumble when Drew McIntyre, because again, at that point of his career, he never won the world title until he won the Royal Rumble that year. So, this feels like, especially especially now, it feels like a great opportunity to do that to Braun, who has never won a world title, who has never won the WWE Championship. Sure, he's won the Intercontinental title, and he's done wonders with that title. Don't get me wrong, but it feels like a waste of time and a wasted opportunity if you don't put it on Braun. So that's a guy that could, you could put on a European tour and can make a lot of money. I don't know if it'll necessarily sell out, but I mean, if you put that guy on the poster, and you're going to have a lot of people behind someone like Braun Breaker, who again transitioned from being doing the athlete side of things in sports to being a professional wrestler and doing that grind through the PC process. So that's who I have winning, because I think Braun winning, especially in a main event kind of thing, establishing him as the main event kind of caliber wrestler would be great. The backup I have is kind of maybe a hot take, but maybe if you have someone like a Gunther winning, that way you could, to Tyler's point, to have him retire, quote unquote, AJ Styles, whatever AJ does in the near future is neither here or there, but riding that momentum and then having him going into the main event picture, winning the Rumble, and having that kind of heat going to WrestleMania, and maybe even challenging Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean? Like, sure, having the World Heavyweight Championship back would be great, but if he goes after the WWE title, would be great too. And then maybe even a third option. I mean, there's a good chance that they might have Sami Zayn winning it just because it is Saudi. And Sami does have that connection to Saudi Arabia already. But I mean, like I said, don't count out Braun. So I have Braun Breaker as the men's.
Ooh, that is some smart thinking there, I'll tell you that much. Oh man, I'll tell you folks, the Royal Rumble this year, it is going to be stacked. And I mean, as we saw, there's a lot of different directions they could go with this year's Rumbles, and it makes it really interesting this year, it really does. And man, I'm excited. You guys are excited. We're all excited for the Rumble, and it is going to be fantastic. Oh man. I'll tell you, January has been a crazy month when it comes to the podcast, and we appreciate everyone checking out every single episode possible. Like, we've been doing like so much this month that it has been insane, but that's what we do. We love talking about pro wrestling, and we love telling you guys about the great stuff going on in the industry. So we appreciate you guys as ever. Oh man. February is probably going to be a little bit more of a quiet month compared to this one, but don't count it out for one bit, because there's a fair bit of shows coming up that should be quite interesting, including the Elimination Chamber, which that's going to be fantastic. Or for those viewers in Germany, No Escape. Of course, I had to bring that up too, which, bit of a fun fact there with that, which I kind of love that. But, who would like to do the outro for this episode? Or do you guys want me to do it?
I'll do it.
Well, let's let Mike do it. You never done it.
All right, then, Mike, take it away.
Wait, do I have like a certain script I have to follow, or
Just go however you
no?
want
Just
to
want me to
go.
wing it? Okay, I'll wing it. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys so much, every guy, gal, and non-binary pal out there. We would like to thank you for listening to the Losers Lounge podcast. These gentlemen in this group I've known for a very, very long time, and it's been always an honor. If you haven't already, follow every single one of us on social media. Of course, you can find Christian on Twitter, or what is known as X now. I cannot say his username by heart because
Actually, I left Twitter in May.
Yeah, so...
Never mind. We follow him on Instagram instead.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the WWE Sins Guy.
Yes, and you can follow him as well. You could also follow Ty Lore on social media. Ty Lore, where do they find you?
You can find me across on most social media platforms as either Mr. Guru Bill or MGB Live or MGB Live TTV. depending on what platform handle or whatever it may be.
All right, and then we also got Leo the Phenom in the building. Leo, where can they find you on socials?
X, Instagram, just follow my account, Leo _ the Phenom, or go to my, if you find my YouTube page, follow me there if you want, or better yet, my TikTok. Whatever the heck you
Oh,
want to
nice.
use.
Okay, and then finally we got the Heelest of Balors, HeelBalor. Willie, where can they find you?
Follow me on Twitter, HeelBalor, Instagram, HeelBalor YT.
Damn, that was
And
quick.
subscribe to me on
Anyway,
YouTube. There goes my text going off.
damn. Anyway, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, same handle at SockMonkeyMike, and on YouTube. We are on the road to 500. All right, I think I am at 500, but I'm not too sure. Maybe to
I think you're at
1,000. I don't
500.
care. Anyway, but we would like to thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe because I know you've been not listening all this time and not subscribing. And while you're doing that, maybe hit that like button, and then of course, how can we forget? Hit that notification bell so that way you can never miss another episode of the
Oh, yeah.
Losers Lounge podcast. Or if you're listening on any are we on podcasts like Apple Podcasts and all that stuff too?
I think I will say this much for those people who may want to know. That might be something we are working on in the future, so stay tuned.
Okay, well, for the future, make sure you check social medias for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys in the next episode of the Loser Lounge podcast. Enjoy the Royal Rumble. And because it's gonna be early on for the PST. I know it's gonna be later on for the EST. For the Mountain Time, I do not know. For Hawaiian time, I don't know. So just if you have the clock app, just search in your city. It should tell you. But yeah. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.